Hey y'all, what's going on? It's the Coastal Critiques panel. We are back to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's season 6, episodes 11 and 12. Let's get into it.
Oh, let's go.
We're back. Oh, wait. You're muted. Hold on. Okay. Wait.
Oh, I'm like,
You're good. You're good.
I'm on the way.
We're here, y'all. See, our technology is already trying to not be on our good side, but it does not matter. We're here to discuss the show that just keeps on giving, Salt Lake City. Apologies, of course, y'all. We know we're tardy, but as always, better late than never. Although never late is better, but around this time of year, it's a lot going on. So we're here though on this Good Friday.
We are.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about these episodes? Like, we're really like
I'm
in
on
the
board.
thick season. Some people, I don't know, some people online I've been seeing have been saying that they're a little bored. They're saying that the Potomacs of them all are kind of given a little bit more than SLC is currently. So I just want to check your temperature on that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I moved. I'm gonna go on camera for a second. Hold on. So, I moved. So I have not been keeping up with my girls and all my girls all at the same time. I've been having to catch up.
It's a lot on TV right now. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Married to Medicine is back. Those are my girls too. And so with that, I can't say that I was bored at any time. They to me, they never give boring. They always give what's really going on. They don't pussyfoot around it. The issue. They don't let it linger too long, because it's like, look, I'm about to be around you, so we're gonna have to figure it out. So I like that about Salt Lake City. They don't, the stuff that they don't linger around is when they don't be around each other. So, but if they're gonna be around each other, like, hey, look, this is what we doing. We're gonna put it all on the table. So I like that about them. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of good TV going on right now. But like I said, Salt Lake City don't never disappoint. We got two to go over. So maybe because we have two together, because maybe last week wasn't as, I'm not gonna say it was filler, but it probably wasn't all in your face. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. I think there was a couple scenes sprinkled out throughout like both I'll say the last tidbit that we got in episode 12 is really what saved it from being a filler episode, in my opinion. Filler episode, let me throw up the air quotes, because, and I do that because y'all, like, not every episode is going to be like, tables flying and all craziness. So I do understand that there's ups and downs with each episode as we go throughout the season. And even season 11, episode 11, there was a couple of scenes in there that I was like, okay, that'll give us some real good things to discuss. And I'll say though, one person in particular that I'm not I don't want to say she's not giving, but I feel like usually she does deliver in a more dramatic capacity, is Angie. I feel like in the last couple of seasons, Angie has really been like just like up in the ante here episode after episode. But I want to say right now, we haven't really had one of those like grand Angie moments in a little bit. So my eye is definitely on her with that. I know, like you just said, because you've been moving and stuff, I'm gonna assume that you probably haven't seen the reunion seating chart that just came out yesterday. So I want to talk about that, but I guess we can wait obviously until the end to discuss that. Because I have some thoughts and some feelings on things. And I'm sure you will too. But who do we? Hey, Kev, what's going on? He said not to skip ahead. I was bothered. Brownman hosted a 1776 party. Black people were not free in 1776. Yet has a black woman in attendance. Read the room, Brownman. Epic fail. I more so. I kind of just felt like because I have been the only black person in spaces throughout my life. And I know that sometimes, yeah, it can read a bit like tone deaf and stuff like that. I definitely did kind of put myself in Mary's shoes for a minute and was just kind of like, And I also was thinking like this could definitely never jump off on some of the other franchises. But I would have been less than enthused to attend if I was her, just keeping it, 100.
Well, here's the thing. She should have came like Lisa came.
Yeah, I
She should
wouldn't
have just
have.
came in her regular clothes,
Yeah.
regular degular smegular, and not she never regular degular smegular. I mean Mary's regular degular smegular. Um, yeah, she should have just came, to support, But let's be clear, they didn't know what they were coming to.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were coming to. So to his point, and what's up, Kev? My bad, because I was off screen. I wanted you to see my face when I said what's up, Kev. To your point, yeah, read the room, Bronwyn, because I don't think you really understood what was really going on. So yeah,
It was a little, like I said, it was cringe for me because I have been in those types of environments before. So I was just like, okay, but needless to say, she's happy about her citizenship. Go off, I guess, which is interesting in this political climate. Anyway, good for her.
maybe,
I,
maybe
I hmm?
maybe she wants to change. Maybe she wants to. You know how people talk. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You know how people be like, well, government and the president, and you be like, oh, you assume they're American. They may not be. In the fact,
Yes,
So I'm saying, with that being said, when you're somebody that might talk about it, don't just talk about it, be about it. So
you're
I'm not really mad about it to a certain degree. But
you're
like you said, in this climate, but you might feel like, and Brahman gives me that, I'm that change. I'm the change.
right.
She does. She does something. Oh, that sun is coming through.
I know it's
Hey,
just like
son.
blinding me. It's like
Not,
really, it's overcast today. It's not
is it?
giving,
Can't tell.
but whatever. Yeah, I want to say she said something that made me think like, oh wait, she might not actually be like a citizen. She said something before, or I don't know if it was on an earlier episode or an after show or something that made me think, where were you born? So I wasn't surprised to learn that. But yeah, hopefully she is gonna, bring in the change. I do love and respect what she is doing, like with the flags and her allegiance to the LGBTQIA plus community. I love that. So hopefully, yeah, she and that's with that same initiative, she plans to do something else. She got time. I guess we'll see. Kev said Angie K finally got the memo to comment all the way down. Damn, try hard. Yes, we know we recall how you feel about Angie, Kevin. And maybe she did. Maybe she did listen to the thoughts and the comments and everybody's opinions on stuff. When I say we haven't really had an over the top moment from her, I say that while also mentioning that I don't want to see her doing the whole jump up at the table. I don't want her to overdo it, but I just do expect to see her deliver just a little bit more, based on how she has historically been on the show. So, but yeah. Anyway, y'all, because we got right into it. See, I'm rusty. Like I don't even. Okay. Got banner up there. Don't forget to like the video. We are streaming from both of our channels, so go ahead, hit the like button on both. Subscribe if you're not currently subscribed. Comment, let us know what you guys think about our commentary, the episode, and whatever else. Also share us with all of your folks, and make sure that notification bell is on so you don't miss when we come to you with an upload. And yeah, we'll get into it. So episode 11, Ladies Who Lunch, the sequel. This picked up right as the ladies were coming out of church and stuff. And so they were en route to Mary's lunch. Lisa and Meredith specifically did take notice to how all the other ladies were kind of like taken aback to see them arriving at church. And then we have Whitney over here, who's pointing out to Heather that Meredith and Lisa showing up was given really fake in her opinion. Nonetheless, Mary had a really nice setup for the ladies. Of course, she had that 2003 Dom Perignon on deck because Mary does not play about that. And she even gifted them betta fish, which some people were excited about, some others weren't. But I always appreciate seeing the ladies give gifts and really play into being a nice host. So I didn't find anything wrong with that. But anyway, last minute, Lisa does show up, of course, or what did I write? Anyway, Lisa and Meredith and, the other ladies, they have to throw shade because this is Housewives, of course. And I want to say it was Angie that was like, oh, Mary, your guests are here. I'm like, oh my God. But once they sit down for lunch, y'all, Mary says that she invited all of them on this very important day because she needed a group of real friends around her. And, the only one that is absent is Brittany, of course. And Mary says that she did actually let Brittany know why she wasn't invited. We actually see that flashback from 5 hours prior. And, Mary was doing just that. Her reasoning being was that Brittany had referred to her as the most ungodly person ever. And when she was talking to Brittany did acknowledge that she said that. She apologizes, which shocked Mary. And Mary felt like, she meant it. So she was actually asking her dog, I don't know, should I invite her? Should I not? The dog didn't say anything. So she didn't feel it in her heart to invite her after all. And she also goes on to say that if, Brittany can apologize, then she doesn't understand why there's no reason in her eyes that they can't all get their act together as a group. And as Mary was speaking, who but Heather the hijacker, takes over the conversation. She comes in to ensure that Lisa is hearing her and, the words are resonating with her that Mary's saying. And, for whatever reason, Heather then decides to air her grievances out with Lisa right there. And, more specifically, how the trip was just really good. It was really great. And then she ruined it pretty much. She ruined it in the end because they had to, corral around Brittany and, be her support system and everything and console her. And, from there, neither Meredith or Lisa, even apologized. So I don't know why Heather decided to say it then, but she did. And Lisa's like, I never said anything happened. Meredith is like, we never even discussed what happened. And this really just gets things started, y'all. And Heather also wasn't trying to come off, her hill. And she's just like, what warranted our trip ending with, our friend saying she never wants to be in the room with either of you? What could have possibly caused that? Because she holds both of you guys equally accountable in this whole thing. And again, Meredith says that she's just reacting to Brittany's malicious actions, and Mary, she's pointing out different things, and everybody's really just speaking up from however they feel on the situation. And then we get into this whole well, Meredith, what happened? Because Meredith was like, I had time to nap, I had time to watch Crazy Rich Asians, I had time to do all of these different things, and they're like, okay, so how does it end then if you had time to watch the movie? And Meredith can't quite seem to summarize what happened in the movie, and Lisa tries to jump to her defense, which she kind of was making sense, but she kind of wasn't, but she kind of was. I don't know. I never seen the movie, so I don't know. But again, they're calling Meredith to the carpet to be accountable for, going off on the plane. And Meredith, she's still just not having it, y'all. And so Bronwyn asks Meredith directly if she's sorry for hurting her feelings, her being Brittany. And she's like, because that's different than you saying that you feel bad. And Meredith does say that she's sorry that she heard her venting. And Bronwyn takes that, of course, as, yeah, okay, well, that doesn't mean you're actually sorry. I want to get to the part where Mary just was asking them to keep pouring up the alcohol, because this is just too much for her at this point. I want to get to the part though where Bronwyn and, I want to say it was in this scene where Bronwyn and Whitney, some beef got started between them. Lisa likes Kendrick Lamar. We find that out in this scene as well, because apparently she didn't go up to Brittany in the airport because she was just in her own world vibing to Kendrick. She's a Kendrick girl. She loves Kendrick Lamar. But again, everybody was just not trying to come up off of their own defense. And Lisa, she's like, let's stop playing Clue. Where is this part though? Brahma says it sounds like Meredith. Brahma says that it sounds like Meredith was on the wrong plane, and she tried to support her and ask the questions and have her back, because it did seem like there was, things were taken a step too far. However, at the table, we have Meredith outing things to where now Bronwyn's relationship with Whitney has been impacted, because y'all remember Bronwyn and Whitney did a conversation following them all coming back to Salt Lake City, and Whitney had divulged some stuff to her, and so it was giving Whitney was talking behind Meredith's back to Bronwyn, and now everything is outed onto the table. And we know that, again, Whitney and Bronwyn were trying to build like some type of friendship and rapport and being transparent. So it was a mess. It was a mess. I think I kind of covered the gist of pretty much everything. How did you feel about this? What are your thoughts? Hello? You there, Sid? Hello? Hello? Uh-oh, y'all. I'm not sure I think my sis is having some technical difficulty. Oh, are you there? Are you frozen? I think she's having some technical difficulties. Maybe you got to go out and come back in. Maybe. Perhaps. I'm not sure. Y'all. Help me understand why Mary would serve alcohol after church service. Make it make sense. Talk about sacrilegious. I'm just saying. I mean, because they're still filming a show is what I attributed it to. I'm not even really a drinker, so you wouldn't see me do that, but to each his own. Do you remember that spot Mary is the same spot Mary kicked out Jen Shaw season 1? Yes, I did think that they were in that same spot. And just to talk a little bit more about that, I feel like Mary, like, obviously we around here go up for Mary, and I do feel like she is justified in a lot of her approaches and stuff, and I do love the energy she's been giving for the past couple seasons now. I will say though, at the same time, she does get away with a lot more than I feel like she would if she was maybe on another franchise or anything of that sort. So I just was like, there really wasn't a need for her to call Brittany and tell her why or whatever. I feel like if that would have happened on another show, she would have been told off. Like, girl, get off my phone with this. I don't want to come to your lunch anyway. Bye. And especially as it pertains to that, between Brittany and she's restarting her computer, y'all. She'll be back in just a moment. Hang tight. I do feel like when it comes down to where Brittany and Mary are standing right here and there, it's kind of making me hold Mary equally accountable, because until we kind of see how that whole conversation transpired, I don't know if Mary could have started with Brittany first based on the little clip that we saw. We saw Mary saying that Brittany, oh, you're not cute, you're not this, you're not that. Like, so if you cast the first stone, you can't really get upset with her for calling you, less than Christ-like. And to take it a step further, I'll also say, with her being a pastor and stuff like that, and trying to uplift others and preach the word of God to them, wouldn't the correct thing be that she would have invited Brittany instead of isolating her? Isn't she supposed to bring those individuals closer to God? Isn't that how it's supposed to work, right? I'm just saying. What else? I feel like, oh yeah, Meredith calls out Whitney for speaking behind her back, and that prompts Whitney to ask who said something to Meredith, because she only talked to one person. I did like that Bronwyn took ownership for that and didn't let it linger. Like, she was like, yeah, it was me. She spoke to me. And she was told that she was drinking on the plane and in the lounge. Meredith turns to Whitney and says that she does not have a substance abuse problem, and Bronwyn specifies that the implications were that Meredith was drinking heavily and she didn't remember. Whitney's whole thing was that it could be one of three things. She was like, either she would tell Meredith and Meredith has hatred in her heart, she has an anger problem, or she has a problem mixing substances. Bronwyn, over the last couple episodes, I will say that she is making me look at her a little bit differently. And I'm kind of thinking like, oh, I understand. I understand what game I think Bronwyn is kind of playing now, based off of, I'll kind of save that for episode 12 though, because I kind of see both sides of it now and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I see what Bronwyn has up her sleeve, y'all. Let's just say that. Kevin said, honestly glad Mary did not invite Brittany. Call me unchristian like, and I too will show just that. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not saying that she was right in that, but if you come at me first, you can't tell me how to come back at you. You just can't. And like I said, based on that little clip, Mary was saying some off the wall stuff to Brittany first. So in her mind, Christ wouldn't be talking like that. So I don't really see it being bad. And I also still think that I do still give kudos to Mary for, oh, you're back. I do still give kudos to Mary for still showing up, not necessarily for Brittany, but to exemplify that what Meredith did in the plane was wrong. I was just talking about how do you feel about Mary not inviting Brittany, telling her she didn't invite Brittany, and that whole thing. My whole thing is, according to that clip, we saw Mary saying to Brittany first that she wasn't cute, she wasn't this, she wasn't that, and then Brittany responded to Mary by calling her unchristlike or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Brittany was well within her right for saying exactly that. She didn't call out her name. She didn't. It wasn't disrespectful. She hit her where in her gut, where she knew it would hurt. Yeah, because you're religious. Okay, so let me talk about your God. let me talk about you and your God, since you want to act like that. So I'm not saying don't come for me, people. I'm just saying this is in her
Oh, I agree.
mind.
I agree.
But yeah, so I just wish Mary wouldn't have put it in the dog's hand. I just wish the paw wouldn't have. I wish the paw wasn't the thing, the defining factor of her not coming. I feel like you should have still invited her, because you said out your own mouth, and we all saw it was very genuine. Not only was it genuine, she said why she said it, because in that moment you wasn't acting real Christ-like. He wouldn't be talking to me like that. So yeah.
Yeah. And I also pointed out that technically speaking, her as a pastor, I would think that she would invite Brittany to something like that, since clearly she might need a little, better the word of God in her life and stuff like that. Individuals that are seeming in need, aren't you supposed to pull them in closer and have them come to church? Just
That's what
saying.
That's what she told her son. She asked her son why he didn't talk about the Lord to his people in his AA meetings, or at, his
Mhm.
when he was at his vacation. You know what I'm saying? But that, and the fact that what you said that about all the ladies, you was like, they all need a little bit of prayer. They all need to come. You know what I'm saying? So you out your own mouth said those things, and then you turned around and was like, but no, I'm gonna show you. And it's like, why would you do that? That's not cool to just show her. Like, don't do that. Don't show her. Just be the bigger person. You know, walk in your faith, like you keep saying. And to Kevin's point, I saw that too. I was like, Dom Perignon. I was like, well, they do say that Christ did, drink. Well, there was wine in the water, and he changed it, and it was a wine, but not champagne. And then I was just like, and then there was nobody else there at the brunch. So I was like, is it brunch for just them, or was it a brunch for after church? Like, because if it was the brunch for after church, because even the potty mouths that was around, there was very potty mouthish things going on. And I feel like when I go to church, I feel like it's like a clean slate, like the brand new week, the Monday, it's like, okay, Monday, what the get it on in. So like on Sunday when you go to church, you kind of cleanse your body a little bit. You prayed over what bull crap that went on the week before. Thank you for getting me through it. Now get me through this next week, and whatever. So I just feel like there was no that wasn't happening. Like I feel like that y'all went to church, y'all got right in the car, started talking about each other. Like literally, girl, I don't know why they was looking like hoes in the church. I told you they was gonna be on fire. That kind of stuff. It was like really catty. So I was like, I don't know if it was just church. Was it Mary? Was it the church? Or was y'all just having a scene? So it's kind of threw me off a little bit. Just a little bit. I was just like, because even Mary, I was like, you're not reading you didn't write you don't have no scripture. You didn't say. I know they condensed it for us, so I'm hoping she went to the Bible and said something other than the Lord brought me here and He want me to bless y'all and touch y'all. And I'm here to do it. Like what? No, I hope it was more than that.
Okay. No, I agree. How
Yeah.
did you feel about the Bronwyn Meredith Whitney triangle, um, outing this one to that one debacle? How did you feel about that?
Um, I don't like the way Meredith spun it. I feel like she was like, oh yeah, I was trying to let her come clean. No, you kind of forced her hand to come clean, because you literally threw Bronwyn under the bus to get her to force her to come clean. I mean, Whitney, yeah, which Bronwyn under the bus. But I was like you. I love that she said came right to it and said, yeah, it was me. It was me. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it was me. I'm trying to be a friend of Meredith and whatever. And it's like that's the thing. Y'all play each other against each other. Like y'all here, y'all. It's two facedness. It's like you here, you trying to be a bootlicker for her, and then you over here, but you should have really not stayed with Whitney. Just kind of, I don't know. The same way you was giving Meredith a chance with Whitney, you should have turned around and gave Meredith the same thing for Whitney. You know what I'm saying? Like, came to her defense. Like, in Whitney's defense, though, da 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 da. And everybody is saying that Meredith looked drunk or could have been drunk. I mean, it was in the interpretation, because she even asked Brahma, well, Brahma, how did you feel how did you take it? Well, if we're gonna go on how everybody took it, we all took the way you was acting on the plane a certain way, and you're calling us a liar. So literally, you're asking her how did she take something, but that don't mean it's true. That's her interpretation. So again, if we're going on your theory, your stuff, Meredith, you can't have it both ways, and you're trying to spin it. You trying to spin it like, well, you Brown took it the way you said it. You said it like I have been drinking and then I did this. No, they all said something was off with you, and she did see you in the lounge. You did have a drink, a cocktail. So where's the lie? Now you were acting belligerent, so we're gonna assume that you had too much to drink. Maybe you didn't eat before. And that could be true. But literally, don't go off on Whitney about, I mean, Whitney has every right to be mad at Brahma for going to Meredith, but she should have said it like, well, I think everybody thinks that you probably saw you at the lounge. I don't think that Whitney is like saying she sneakily saw you. If you was at the lounge, did you go to the lounge? Yes. Okay, well, what's the problem? There's no problem there. So yeah, this is the pick and choose, and I'm gonna say it this way. Meredith is literally making a puzzle and the pieces are not fitting. I don't know what she's doing. She's like literally like, hey, this go. It don't go. No, it go. No, it don't go.
I kind of feel like I know what Meredith's, by the end of the next episode, I think I kind of know what Meredith's doing. I kind of know what Brahma's doing too.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it, because you always logical.
Which is crazy because Bronwyn is like showing up in this scene on like speaking on one thing, but I feel like she completely turns that up by the end of the next episode. Anyway, we shall get there. The next scene we got, before the next scene, technically we got like this little 2-second Mary and Angie working out. Well, more so Angie working out and Mary being over it. But the actual next scene was with Bronwyn and her mom. There at the kitchen, we met Muzzy earlier on in the season, and she let us know that this is where she lets us know that she's not an American citizen. She was actually born in Brazil. Her parents were from the UK, and she had dual citizenship there, but she now is wanting to pursue her American citizenship. And I don't really have much to say other than this scene really just, I guess, solidified something that I've been feeling for a while, which is Bronwyn, and don't take this as, ooh, let me mute my phone.
I was like, is that mine? I'll be trying to make sure mine is off. Damn.
Don't, or I should say, Bronwyn, she doesn't really have much else going on in her life now that I think of it, which is probably why she holds, Gwen being so close in high regard and stuff like that in this show, and being intertwined in this group and stuff like that. Because when you really think about it, I don't see her like having any businesses or anything like that. It's just like her and her fashions. She doesn't really have like a thing. So I feel like that's why she clings so hard to like all these interpersonal relationships and stuff, and has formed a codependency also. It's because like she really don't have nothing else going on.
Which is weird.
Yeah, she could. She clearly she has the money to have stuff going on. Maybe she doesn't want to, which is fine, but it seems like there's a yearning for, there's an empty space. Like she should probably fill that with something productive.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, because like you said, she has the capital, she has the means. I don't know, like you're a collector of things. I don't know. Get into something that like the antiques, or do some shopping and resale. I don't know, like how Marlo did with her fashion. Not saying she has to do that. Not saying she has to do that, but I'm saying she took what she knew and what she loved, and then made a little coin off of it.
No, I agree. I say that because I say that to everybody. I it's only episode 1 of Married to Medicine, and I already said that about Toya. Once again, I say that about her every single season.
Where's
because
her one line?
taking the codependency off the table, just in general, being on this type of platform where you are exposed to so many like people all around the world, like I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with
Mm.
capitalizing on that. I know I would. You would call me Candy Junior. The way I would be putting out products and stuff every single season, people would get tired of me. Like, yep, she's doing something else. Oh, she got this going on. I'll be so just into all these different things to where then I probably wouldn't be like, oh my god, my daughter's moving out.
You be like,
God,
bye.
up in costumes to make it all festive for when he comes home. Like I wouldn't have time for none of that. Like,
She needs
anyway.
to get. She needs to talk to Heather more. Remember they had that little discussion on, remember how they flip of, they're two sides of a coin. So she probably needs to talk to Heather, and Heather can probably steer in the right direction and trying to get herself together and get out of that codependency that she
Yeah, that makes
has.
sense. I think Heather would
Hmm.
be definitely a good person to have that conversation. Then we catch back up with Lisa and Meredith at the nail salon. They, of course, talk about the conversation at lunch and that whole thing. And Meredith was just surprised mainly by Heather and, how she was coming at her so hard instead of lending support like as a friend. But at the same time, her main issue was with Whitney and her trying to judge her mental health and, put all these implications out there about her and her alcohol intake, and they're very damaging false rumors to spread. At least it's like when did Whitney get a degree in psychology or psychiatry? Like, what's psychiatry? What? um and Meredith says that Whitney needs to focus on herself and her own healing instead. And so when asked how she plans to move forward with Whitney, Meredith says that she doesn't. Quite simple, period. It's giving they're trying to exacerbate the situation with Brittany instead. And Lisa tells Meredith about the conversation she had with Brittany that we saw I think 2 episodes ago, and or no, did we see that? Yeah, we saw that, and we get a little snippet in this scene about it as well. And she flat out told this lady that her recollection of what happened on the flight is inaccurate, and Lisa was just trying to help her out, and Brittany regards it as the sixth worst thing that has ever happened in her entire life. I'm not sure if you guys were wondering what 1 through 5 could consist of, but for some odd reason I just found like sixth was like just such a random figure, but whatever. Lisa claims that she apologized to Brittany, and she feels badly that Brittany didn't feel supported by her. We don't see the end of that conversation, but Lisa feels like her and Brittany are good in this moment. And Meredith's whole thing is that she's just sorry for her as a human being in general, and she'll be the bigger person to move on. And even though Brittany has been horrible to her, she does feel sorry that Brittany can't hold a relationship and that she struggles professionally. She's 100% a bad specimen, according to Meredith. And Lisa suggests that her and Brittany talk. And Meredith actually says that she'd be happy to talk to Brittany. How did you feel about that conversation or that scene with them too?
I feel like Meredith's flip flopper. She like you just gotta tell Meredith off the ledge sometimes. I feel like she just like she pops off and she goes from from 0 to 1,000, and then once she sits at that 1,000 and she starts counting back and gets back to back to the tens and over here on the nines, eight, seven, six, fives, like literally, you just see it's like I don't know if this is a dynamic with her and this is just her personality, but don't you see how weird it is that she's like can be so mad and then be like, yeah, I'll talk to her. Like, what? You just say you don't even want to talk to Whitney. You don't want to have nothing to do with Whitney, and then you turn around and say you don't. You Ben said you didn't like Brittany, and like you called her everything under the sun and pea brain to everything. Like, and now here you go. Yeah, I feel bad that I made her feel bad. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's like to me, I don't feel nothing. Meredith is lying. I don't know what I can't wait to hear the end game or where you see Meredith going because I'm tired. I am tired.
Um, I I'm glad that you said that because it reminded me that I have like a little. I haven't been keeping up with them because I mean we know how I feel about Monica or Gunica Garcia, I should say,
Mm,
and the king of reality TV over there. But I think I told you that they were going to be recapping the episodes or whatever, and I seen a clip that I actually want to share later on that kind of makes me think, is that what potentially could happen with the this plane footage that I know exists somewhere, but we just haven't seen it?
hmm
Remind me to bring that back up. Um,
Ooh,
I don't know. I don't know what Meredith. Actually, that brings me to another point. Meredith, I don't dislike her, y'all. I'm still not gonna say that she should 100% be off the show, but again, I'm not gonna argue that she can be, put on in a more limited capacity, aka just a friend of, because she literally she don't give, she won't give. She blows up, won't give. Bathtub scene, won't give, blow up, won't give. Defends herself to the dire end, won't give. Like it's
the
not
pattern.
it's
Stupid.
a, it's like really weird, really weird to me. So I don't ever really understand when people are like, oh my god, like Meredith's my favorite person and stuff like that. She has like great moments when she blows up, or even I still actually she has moments like this. She has moments like this. She has different moments. But in between that, it's like nothing, like at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't have nothing else to even say about that scene.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and wait, one other thing that we're talking about, Lisa and Meredith, they were talking together, right? They're at the nail
yeah,
salon. One thing I don't like is that Lisa told her husband, yeah, Meredith was, she was. I wish I knew the exact word. I'm gonna say livid, but
she was
he
she was
was.
maddest she's ever. She's been the most upset. Whatever. Lisa's never seen Meredith be like that.
Right. And so you know that, but then you'll turn around and look at all the other ladies like, well, she has every right to be. Yeah, she does have the right to be upset. But you keep missing is that she keeps denying the fact that she was going off on Brittany. Well, she wasn't going off on Brittany. She was going off on you about Brittany. And you ain't even stood up and said, yeah, Brittany. I mean, Meredith, you were yelling. Just she was talking to me. She was talking to me. Why don't you tell Meredith? Yeah, you were talking to me, and it was getting on my nerve. Like you was
Right.
getting on my nerve. You was spilling your drink on me. You was belligerent, and
Mhm.
they didn't. Thank God they didn't call the security on you. So the girls are all right. You're it. The audacity when we get to that scene that she's gonna say, "Why don't you guys just stop playing Monopoly or whatever?" Clue, girl, shut up, because you're the one doing it. You are the one sitting here to tell your friend, girl, you was out of line, you was out of pocket, you went off, you did all the things, girl. You was, oh, I was right. You was doing it to me. You were doing it to me, and you are the one person can clear it up, but you're scared of Meredith. You scared, and I don't know why. What are you scared of? Oh yeah, that's why, because y'all have that allegiance.
Yeah, it's that. That's my bottom line. Is the earlier they just come out and say we have an alliance,
There you
that can
go.
really smell a lot of this constant chatter about what is going on here.
Doesn't make
That's
no
a lot.
sense.
Um,
That's the only thing that makes sense, Barb. That's the only thing that makes sense because there is no reason for her to sit there like I wasn't there. You were
other
right
than
there.
to say that just so she can remain in this loyalty pact between them two. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
um, speaking of saying in things. The next thing we get, Heather and Whitney. Whitney's driving up to Heather's house in a U-Haul that she can't even drive. And might I add, the only goal here is for Heather to get rid of this 20 plus year mattress that she's had since she was married. And mind you, Heather's been like divorced for like 10 plus years at this point or something like that. She's been divorced for quite a minute. But yeah, she still has her marital mattress. And so we proceed to watch these two ladies struggle to get this old ratty ass mattress out of Heather's house. Um, and Heather says that, there's no sperm stains because there's not one drop of bodily fluid on there because she is not wasteful, which obviously just lets us know that she swallows. And so, yeah, of course, in U-Haul, they talk about the drama and everything, and the drama between Brittany and Meredith. And Whitney says that it really just reminds her of how her dad was when he like blacks out and everything. And all those instances were just typically, if not every time, fueled by alcohol, drugs, prescription medication, or probably a combination of all of them. And it's just really like triggering for her when Meredith doesn't take accountability for this. And we also hear Whitney expressing her regret for telling Bronwyn about what she experienced on the plane. Had she known, she was just going to run right to Meredith with it and, let it out. So what did you feel about that?
Wait, what was the first part? What was the first part? Huh?
The mattress.
Oh, yeah, the mattress. I was Meredith, like, girl, I was trying to get that out of my mind so bad. I literally was like, out. But
why do you still have it?
That was the craziest thing that I blocked it off that fast, because I literally was like, that's so nasty to me. The fact that this is why you can't get a man. You still got your old mattress in there, girl. Why you gonna get a new man in your old mattress? That's just
it wasn't even like a Tempur-Pedic high-tech like 20, like it wasn't no like crazy mattress, nothing like that it's like, oh man, that was $8,000. No, it just looked like a regular mattress. Like, and I'm damn sure not gonna do it on camera.
All of it was, and the fact that she was dressed down in a perfume. I said, and you gonna carry the mattress in the heels? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy. But the cousins, this is what we love about bad weather. This is the bad weather we enjoy. They do stuff that you just be like, it's just y'all. It's just you and her. What was the other part? I'm sorry. What was the last part?
Just them unpacking the current drama between Brittany and Meredith, that whole situation, and how Whitney felt like she regretted telling Bronwyn that information if it was just going to come back and hit her in the face.
I hope she does. I hope. Well, you already know, but yeah, I was like, I hope that works out for her. But yeah, I don't think Whitney's in a she's transitioning right now to something. She's like coming out of some things, especially with the business that she had going on and stuff. So there's that, but she's also just growing up and coming into the person she is, and don't stop talking about. I mean, like, she doesn't back down from people. Like, before, when she was younger, and they kind of shunned her, and like she would just kind of take it. Now I think she can stand on her own 2 feet and talk, and take up for herself. And I feel like Bronwyn, I hope she didn't mess that up, because I think that was gonna be a good friendship. I think that would have been them two together would be crazy. They seem like they would have fun together, but because of the age difference with their husbands, them both young, the last discussion they had, yeah, I was saying, I was like, oh, I like this dynamic. This is kind of cool.
But, yeah, I'm not holding my breath on it though. In light of recent events, I'm not holding my breath on it. It could have been, I suppose, in accordance to what you're saying, but I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately. Brittany, we get a scene with her and Olivia again, and they actually have a therapy session. Brittany says that the drama gave her clarity on what she should be focusing on right now, which is reconciling with Olivia, of course. And they start off by Olivia saying that, things were good before she divorced her dad. And then shortly after they got a divorce, Brittany remarried, because you can't get into heaven without a husband, y'all. And
Uh-uh.
so she made the husband, this new husband, her complete like world and everything. So much so that like she was showing up to his for his kids more so, not more so, completely showing up for his kids and neglecting her children. Also, which then of course Olivia was like, she moved in with her dad, and that just made the rift even bigger within their relationship. And it was 7 years of Brittany neglecting her children altogether. She would celebrate the stepchildren's birthdays and forget about her children, and the whole nine. And Brittany's like, I wish there was a way I could tell her that she's learned and grown up and grown from this and stuff like that, because Olivia's in a place, she kind of like, clearly she has abandonment issues to the point now it's hard for her to form like close relationships and really trust people, or trust her mother, because it's like, will she do it again, like, and it also makes her feel like, kind of like, oh, was I like not good enough or like worthy of, like she's testing her own value and stuff like that, or questioning her own value as a person and stuff like that. Um and Brittany says she really just wants to show up and give Olivia whatever she needs in this situation, but the therapist is actually like, no, like you get a say in this too, like you get things from this too. That's not how therapy works. And neither of them feel like I said, that they're deserving. And Olivia, she's just really struggling. And Brittany also hasn't forgiven herself, so she says, which that then kind of gives Olivia a little bit of reassurance, I should say, that she has like changed, or and she does know like what she did wrong, and she's not just like trying to sweep it under the rug and everything. And the scene just ends with Brittany expressing her appreciation for Olivia giving her this second chance. As a mother of five, how do you feel about that?
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it with her. I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do the leave my kids, the kids go with their daddy. Now, my kids did go live with their dad, but
It
he
wasn't because
still
you were
paid them.
neglecting them. Like,
No, it wasn't had nothing to do with them neglecting. It just that like I literally he moved into a bigger house, and so they had their own room there. So it was like, you want to share your room, or you want to go live with your dad? Who you guys get a room? Like, just go live with dad. Are you crazy? Like it's an neglected community. Yeah, I'm going with dad. So, but they only left. That only lasted a couple of years. My daughter was like, "Yeah, I'm done with dad. You can come get. I'm coming back home with you because this ain't working."
mhm.
But I say that to say, um, I'm glad to see, and that's sad to say, but hear me out. I'm happy to see that Brittany is trying to get her feelings out and trying to articulate to her daughter how she really feels, because, like your daughter said, look, you've been blowing smoke up my behind for a long time. I can't trust nothing you say, and I don't even trust other people. And now it's like it was almost a mirror. They were saying the same thing about themselves. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh shoot. So they kind of can meet on that. Except for Brittany, I think Brittany needs her own. I mean, I'm glad she has counseling with her daughter, but she needs her own counseling too, because yeah, she needs her own counseling because she needs to get stronger. I really feel like she should have did that first. That way, when she goes to talk to her daughter, she could have had a more understanding. She's listening to her, but like the fact that she's
Individual counseling, actually, not to cut you off. Technically,
oh
both
yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
but
Mhm.
you're right about that. But because it would have been easier for her to or say what she needs to say to get or hear what her daughter have to say. It's a little harder now because she's still a victim too. Like she's still victimized. She feels like a victim herself, and not looking at her children like they're the victims. They're the ones that suffer behind it more than you being the person to victimize them and feeling bad about it. It's a difference. So she's like, well, me too. I'm still suffering in this. Like the daughter's like, I know, but I mean, I'm glad you are for whatever that's worth. I don't want you to be struggling, but I guess knowing you're struggling makes me feel better that you are struggling, because that makes me know that you're human and that you have feelings for me. Because that's the thing. She feels abandoned, don't feel worthy. Like those things that's terrible. Oh, I wouldn't even want that for my mother, and I wouldn't want that for none of my children. I wouldn't want them to think I think they're not worthy of anything. Like that's not my
Uh-oh. No, you cut out. Oh man, y'all. Come back. Hmm. She might have to go out, come back. Oh, wait.
Oh, there you go. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, here.
Okay, so can you hear me? I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
it's like,
myself off the screen. Can you hear me though?
yeah.
TikTok
Hmm.
in. That's on. But you can hear me
Yeah,
better though. Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my computer. So anyway, I just feel like I feel bad that that's happening to her, but I'm glad they're in counseling together. She only has the one daughter. She has two daughters though, right?
Yeah, I want to say Olivia's the younger one, but I mean, I don't know why. Based off of what at this point,
Oh,
I want to say she is for some reason. The other, I don't know. I don't. I'm curious
so
about
one.
the other. She need to be in therapy with her too, if the other
That,
daughter's open to it. Obviously, um,
that's what
it's like it should never have gotten to this. My whole thing is, yeah, like it should have never gotten to this point. I can't get past that, but since like we have no choice but to move past that part. Um, yeah, I do hope that each of them gets exactly what they need from this. I hope that Brittany just independently, like, because that's the thing, is she's still practicing, Mormonism, that she's still in the religion, and I just feel like I'm not, y'all. I'm never going to disrespect anybody's religion. That's to each his own, but like at the same time, I feel like she still doesn't see anything wrong with what I said in the beginning of this scene, which is because you can't get into heaven without a husband or whatever. Like I still feel like she kind of still thinks that, and I just feel like with that being said, there's always that chance of her just going off into la la land and just like she needs to rewire her these ideals. I feel like in her head. I wonder if they're like she's still like a part of church or anything like that. I'm curious, but
I'm
I don't
wondering if
know about that.
Jared has anything to do with why she is kind of stuck in, the not that, that's her religion, Mormonism, if that's what it is, but I feel like he actually is one of the people like, yeah, I love that about you. I love that you. I can just see, I could just, he
We
just
don't know.
seems like that's, I just feel
My
like,
third
because, you know what?
Yeah, my third eye stays on him. He like that. I'll never not look at him weird, but independently, like she just needs to, like you said, like she just needs to really like she needs to take charge of her life and really steer it in the direction that she wants to see things happening. Because I feel like she just kind of allows things to happen to her, and it's kind of governed. I feel like by these ideals she has that are just very unrealistic. I feel.
I wonder
She
where's her parents. Have we talked
hmm.
about her parents? Have we talked about her parents, her mom?
I remember her mom like passed like 2 years like recently, I want to say, and she
Oh, okay.
had siblings, and they like used to sing. I want to say, aren't all the siblings, but yeah, she's seeing like this relationship with her parents, but I'm like, was it toxic like that? Because I don't know, like somehow it translated to her now, like just having this like toxic idea of what a relationship should look like. So I don't know. Like her
Yeah.
dad, it didn't seem weird when we saw all her family in her house or whatever singing and that whole thing last year. Because remember when Angie brought the wine or whatever, and
Mhm.
it didn't seem like it was weird, but like clearly, if she's now thinking along these lines, something went wrong somewhere. I don't know.
Well, look. We saying it wasn't weird, but look how she went off on Angie. But look who broke
Exactly.
all the car. Look, you went over Angie like, girl, don't bring the wine here, girl. Look in front of my family. Okay, girl, go just put it by in the bushes real quick. Cause
That's what I'm
thank you,
saying.
girl,
Like,
but
you drink, you drink. You don't need
yeah,
a husband, you didn't have it. Like, she needs to unlearn a lot of these things, and
yeah.
it'll help to not allow things like this, being estranged from her daughter and all these other things, to continue to happen to her.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
What? Um, Speaking of mother-daughter relationships, we get the next scene with Bronwyn, Gwen, Marge, and their three generations of Bobs. They go to replant bonsais. Bronwyn says she's not, a very thin person. What? But in light of everything that's going on in her marriage and in the group, she needs that in her life right about now. Oh, a very zen person. I said thin. What? Gwen has a to talk to text, y'all talk to text. Um, Gwen, she has a chameleon. Like, she wants to move to Oregon. As I said before, Bronwyn has this codependency issue, so she doesn't want to see her move and everything and spread her wings. But Muzzy's there to tell her, like, no, like, she's trying to spread her wings and, figure out life for herself, which is something that Bronwyn had expressed clearly that in the past, she wishes that she had done for herself. So Bronwyn's just in her confessional explaining how she's never been alone. She went from her parents' house to BYU for just a short period of time to then, boom, Gwen is here, and that's all she's ever known ever since. And similarly enough, her mother isn't quite ready to leave just yet from living with Bronwyn, but her goal is to get back into her own space as well. So Bronwyn, she's really uncomfortable. And she makes a joke. You know how Bronwyn loves to make these weird jokes that it's like, are you telling the truth? What does this mean? She's like, oh, is it Todd? Like, because I'll get rid of him. Like, and Muzzy, of course, was like, oh no, like I think if anything, like he'll get rid of you first, or she says something to that effect. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, weird. Um, but nonetheless, they're leaving. Bronwyn's going to be solo dolo, and she just doesn't know how she's going to cope with that. My thing is, could Bronwyn also be someone that does all of these grand actions, and she like helps these people and wanted her, like mom, for instance, to move in with her and do all these different things just to gain people's loyalty, so then they don't feel, like they want to detach from her or whatever, which in theory would then make her somebody that is just doing things for selfish reasons or whatever. Like, does she just do things just to just have people remain constant in her life then? Because it's like, oh, if I show up for them in this way, then there's no possible chance that they're going to want to leave. Like, I've made it so comfortable for them over here or whatever. And maybe she does it in her friendships as well. That's kind of what I thought about this scene. My
That's
food for
delusional.
it is. No, it's totally not. Like, I feel like, I mean, that people do that though. People do
I know.
obviously, do things for people. So it's like, oh, you're gonna have to depend on me, or you're gonna have to, want to be bothered. You buy people's loyalty.
That's crazy.
I
And
don't.
it's not getting you nowhere. Well, that's the question. Where's that getting you? If that's what you're doing, Bronwyn, where is that getting you? To,
A chair
to,
at the codependent table, because she's got to learn how to just be by herself.
yeah, it's not gonna work.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. But that's really all I had to say about this scene. And I'll say, Gwen, why do you want to move to Oregon so bad? Is it for this
No,
boyfriend
Seattle. I thought it was Seattle.
northwest? Why do you want to move
Yeah.
northwest? Please don't let it be for this boy and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna
Dude.
say. Remember the boyfriend that's living in the house with them?
Oh, that's right. Oh, you
Yeah,
think it's a family, maybe?
we need to figure that out. Let's.
Yeah. Don't turn into your mom.
Like, don't. Mm-mm. Like, mm-mm. Anyway, final scene is with Brittany and Meredith. Surprise, surprise. We get this conversation with them, Brittany wasn't surprised to hear that Meredith wanted to speak to her, that she'd gotten an invite and everything. And she prefaces the conversation by saying that if, Meredith wants to give her an apology, she's willing to own her part, then all good. If she's not, then, that's a different story. Meredith says that she wanted to tell her that she's sorry for Brittany hearing her talk to Lisa on the plane, and it was the wrong place and the wrong time, and most definitely, and that she feels terribly that she hurt her feelings. That isn't something she wanted to do. She's sorry. And she tries to treat people with kindness and respect, and she didn't feel like they've had an easy path. It's been difficult for them to, form a friendship, but she is hopeful they can move forward, or at the bare minimum, be amongst one another, and treat each other with kindness and respect. Brittany's like, yeah, thank you for the apology. It means a lot. When she goes, her being honest in her confessional, she does still feel some type of way about what happened, but she is going to choose forgiveness. She is going to try to move forward with Meredith, even though this happened. And, she's adamant that she doesn't know she doesn't know anything about Meredith's relationship. It was just strictly something that was petty. And she does take ownership for that as well and apologize for that as well. And Meredith must make it clear that, the real trigger is that Brittany came in trying to sound like she was helping her, but she was really trying to hurt her. So I guess this is all we'll hear about it, y'all. Just kidding. Next episode. How do you feel about this apology?
Like I said, I don't know, because Brittany, like I don't know. With Brittany, like she said, she did do it on purpose. I mean, she said we knew she did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you apologize for it. Y'all threw her unicorn over the damn thing, and she didn't get as mad as you guys, like how y'all get mad with her. So like I don't know. I feel like Brittany is like Whitney when it comes to Meredith. Like they're almost in the same category. There is no, like, Meredith looks at them like, y'all, you guys are beneath me. I wish you could see my face. But if everybody's beneath, those two girls are beneath her. So I don't know. I don't feel like what I do know is that they both know that they're not going to be friends, and they do understand that they're going to be in contact with each other on the show together. So I guess the politically correct thing to do is apologize, and there it is.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. I was glad in the moment that this was hopefully going to be put to bed, but I don't feel as confident moving on to the next episode and even for the rest of the season. I do think that they're just two people that are just very different that normally would not probably be friends. So don't try to overforce it. But at the same time, no, I don't want to continue to hear about this, because at the end of the day, we don't even know what happened or didn't happen because there's no freaking footage supposedly. So I was just over it, honestly, at this point. Actually, I was thinking, I will. I will play this like the video real quick, y'all, and then we will get into the next episode. Okay, and we're back. So the next episode 12, First Amendment rights and wrongs, y'all. Right off the bat, we see Bronwyn at the airport, and she has on one of her costumes. She's actually a sloth today. She's picking up Todd. We know just based on the last couple episodes where their relationship, their marriage has kind of hit a rough patch, but she's I forget what she said specifically, but it was like just because you go through something bad, the relationship is bad or something like that. Okay. Um, but she's picking him up and she tells him she's in big trouble because she did exactly what he told her not to do, which is getting involved in the airplane situation. And, she's trying to do the right thing. And now Whitney's mad at her because she told Meredith and she's so bummed. And, he's just like, probably thinking like, well, girl, I told you so. But he does suggest that they all just have a kumbaya where everyone apologizes because everyone has probably said some ish, including Bronwyn. And in Bronwyn's opinion, they're all probably harboring old ish and, they're just unaware of the fact that they're holding on to that, and that of course is probably hindering the group from moving forward. So to celebrate her becoming an American citizen, she wants to have a Boston spill the tea party to just serve as a reset and get them back on track. What did you feel about this first opening scene?
She scared the heebie-jeebies out. Her husband, when she jumped up, she was so quiet. That girl is consistent. I will say that she consistent with them
She got time.
costumes. Yeah, she ain't got nothing else to do. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I like that Todd, is having a conversation with her about her job because technically this is her job, and so and I think that's what she's been wanting him to do. Like that's why she keeps talking to him about it. Like she wants him to, you know, conversate and give her some insight. And he's just like, I don't care about them ladies, and the way they feel about me is how I feel about them. That energy. So to this time, for him to give her some, insight about what they all need to do, I think that's why she was like, you know what, I think you're right, and let me take a note or two. So I'm gonna give him a little brownie point for finally, standing behind his wife and giving her something about the job other than I don't know why you don't talk. I don't know why you talk to those ladies. I don't know why you give them why you go be with them because that's my job. I have to be around them. So can you stop asking me those dumb questions because that's my job. Okay, thanks.
Right. I don't how she, like her whole what's it called? Her whole like the way in which she kind of her tone, her demeanor, and everything at first though when she was telling him this, it got on my nerves. I guess because it almost seems like a child like running up
Oh
to like
yeah.
the like guess guess what I did? Remember that thing you told me not to do? I did it. Like
Ooh,
it was
annoying.
weird. I don't know. I was like, girl. Anyway, um,
Uh,
but yeah, I think yeah, that sounds good. To like get release old stuff and move on and stuff like that. But I'm like, I hope again you are somebody who's going to be leading the charge in that because at the end of the day, there's been things that have happened in the past that I feel like you also, Roman, have held close to the chest and didn't want to come up off. So I'm like, just understand what you're asking for. Just okay. And I do feel like certain situations, I wouldn't be surprised if other people are still holding on to them because they are so recent or whatnot. So again, it sounds good to say, let's do this, but just know what you're asking for. That's all I felt in this scene.
mm,
Um, over with Whitney, y'all. So Whitney, she's sitting out. Clearly, like her demeanor seems like something clearly is on her mind. Like she's looking some type of way. So she sits down with Justin, and again, she's in this mood. We find out it's because she just peeped a large debit coming from their account, and it was going to one of their vendors supposedly, and She expresses this to Justin, and his whole thing is like he pretty much feels inclined to do right by the individuals they owed money to. She hates that she didn't listen to her intuition on merging Wild Rose Beauty with another entity, she says, which in her eyes, looking back on it, it was a poor decision that she's having difficulty being released from. She just wants the intellectual property rights, I guess, to using her name, and she doesn't want to have to be tethered to this entity any longer. She wants her inventory as well, and she feels misled, misinformed. She said that at the time she just really wanted her product to be in Sephora, Ulta, Target, etc., and she was presented this like MLM business plan from Justin. And again, it's really annoying because at the time she was just going to sit down with someone from Sephora that week. So she felt forced pretty much by them presenting these figures and these numbers and everything. She felt forced to kind of go along with it. And she also put all of her trust in Justin in doing so, only for it to not go the way that they thought it was going to go. And at the time, she had been asking Justin for years and years and years to do something business wise, like they could get into something business wise together. And it wasn't until he like had this idea of taking her company to the next level by doing this again MLM process thing. It wasn't until then that he wanted to jump on board. So it was like, did you think that like I wasn't going to be successful if it wasn't for this? Like, she just is really upset, and obviously it's caused like some type of resentment in their marriage because she's clearly really still holding this all against him. He doesn't know what else to say other than, you know, sorry for getting her entangled with it. And she again feels like it's very hard to compartmentalize this situation versus letting that resentment spill out into the rest of the marriage. What did you do you want to go? You can go first.
I thought it's really weird to see Whitney. I felt bad for Whitney. Let's be clear. Let's start with that. Very sad that, you know, that this happened to her baby. We know how she feels. She's very passionate about Wild Rose, so I understand that. But the resentment and treating Justin a certain kind of way, I'm gonna need her to snap out of that, because when he lost his job because you guys was getting freaky deaky on the screen.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that. It's the same energy.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he had a little grudge for a little bit. You know, I don't know how long the grudge was. I don't know how long they wasn't sleeping together. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel like it's again, you know, I'm not saying that you should hold grudges or resentment, nothing like that. No, the goal is to not have those things. But at the same time, when you think about it, if I lost if I'm the breadwinner around here and you got me entangled in something that now I lose my job or whatever behind it or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised, or I don't think anyone should be surprised if I'm like a little bit resentful, at least at first, because it's just like, if it was just something that wasn't like the main income and stuff like that, I can understand where you're like, is it really that serious? Like, just let it go, yada, yada, yada. But like, dang, I was just trying to help you out and I lost our sole, you know, means of income around here. Like that would be, I feel like he could be a lot more upset with her than she is, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good gut punch. It's a good gut punch. But here's the thing: they're talking it out. She couldn't hold it no longer because, you know, Whitney can probably fake it till she make it. You know what I mean? And so she finally get it off her chest. They, you know, he said he was sorry. He validates that Wild Rose has always been something he thought was going to be successful. I believe that. I don't think he's blowing smoke up her behind, because if that was the case, he wouldn't even be. He wouldn't have never said nothing about it, or he wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I don't care what, if it came late, too late in your eyes, whatever it was. He just wouldn't have. He wouldn't have had no interest at all in it if he didn't believe in it. So Yeah, it's just it's a trial and a tribulation, and we all go through it.
Yeah,
What you
I feel
about to
like even if
say?
it wasn't an MLM, like you wanted to work together so bad, and
There you go.
he jumped in the mix like right when he like thought, okay, this could be something good and stuff like that. You but especially on entrepreneurship, like it could always go one of two ways. It could always go potentially bad, and it doesn't have to just mean when it's an MLM. You could be doing something completely legit, and it can look like there's no way it can fail, and it could still fail. So I don't really think that that's I don't again, outside looking in, basing it only off of what we're being told, like that could have happened at any point. Like it could have still been a good idea, but sometimes good ideas just don't turn out to be a good idea, especially when you're talking about consumerism. So I think that's weird. And I also really didn't like the fact that like Whitney, I get like you feel some type of way, you want to be released from this. And I think that that's totally fine. But when you think about it, you having an issue with him paying people that you were supposed to pay is bullshit. Like pay those people what they are entitled to being paid and stuff like that. You can't just be like, oh, I want a part of this, we ain't gonna pay you. Like, no, you need to still do right by what you said that you were gonna do initially. Like, sorry, it sucks. Just it sucks sometimes, and when you have to, take accountability. Sometimes it means taking the smaller paycheck or taking a cut or taking a loss or whatever. But that doesn't mean like, oh, this worked out, let me just neglect ownership and act like that didn't happen. Like, sorry, that's business. I didn't like that either.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I should
I'm
probably get
glad that Justin. Oh yeah. Go ahead. You can read this comment.
It is dumb, actually. There was no other option prior to Whitney making the decision. So her being in her feelings with Justin is pretty much pointless. Yeah, again, I feel like she just has to like place the blame on somebody and be upset with somebody, and like she chooses him, whatever, I guess. And I mean, like I said, to a degree, I get it, but I gotta get off the bus somewhere. And it's at the point of one, paid in people, and two, like you wanted to get invested in this, and sometimes that's what happons.
I love the
Clearly,
fact that her husband wants to pay the people and get,
help.
be right with the folks. But well, not only that, because you want your business back, so you need to you want the you need to be as forthright as you can be when it comes to getting that your old business taken care of. And since this is what we're doing, you don't, he's not leaving it hanging. He's not putting you guys in more debt. He's actually taking care of some of the debt. So yeah, you can't uh, bitch and moan about something both ways. Oh, the debit came out, and at least it's coming out. At least you had it to give. I mean, at
Yeah.
least it was there to give. Because literally it could be two things. You could be getting sued, and then they take everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's call it thing a thing, babes.
No, for real. I think in her eyes, she just wants it to be like, give me myself back. I'm gonna switch it up, put some new branding on it, and resell it out here, and act like none of that happened. Like act like I had nothing to do with that at all. Ain't gonna pay those people. Ain't gonna do nothing. Just completely release me so I can move on and act like that didn't happen. Which to a degree, I'm like, okay, I mean, people do it every day. I get it. But on the other hand, it's like, no, girl, like this is just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Unfortunately, you gotta take accountability for the losses too. You're not always gonna be in the green. Sorry.
Not only that too, but she's on TV. She's a personality. There's a little bit more in it with Whitney. Not like everybody knows Whitney like that, but just saying you're in a little bit in the spotlight. So you don't want to have that business like that. You just don't.
I'm gonna pin
Not
this
paying.
comment because this is the comment of the day, in my opinion. Whitney not paying the vendor would have had her looking like Lisa with the active lawsuits.
Ooh, child, I was about to drink my soda and I had to put my bottle down because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
literally exactly what like, and it's like on this at the same time, I was just about to give her grace and say, like, you know what, I do appreciate her coming forth with this and not, and being transparent and stuff like that, because she's not going to allow anybody else to spray her with this. She's going to talk about it. talk about the solution, and it's not gonna it's gonna be put to bed. No more life is gonna be able
So
to
you
be
saw.
breathed to this. But again, we can't negate the fact of what Kevin just brought up. Whitney, if you would have backpedaled and not wanted to lean into this more and not want to have anything to do, like Justin is actually saving you the drama, like for real. So you should actually thank him, honestly.
Hmm.
Just saying. Um, Next scene, don't really have much to say about it. I think it's amazing. I'm all about furthering your education. We got Heather over there with Georgia. They're decorating Annabelle's bed since she's going to the University of Tampa. And Heather is really, this is just another way for Heather. And I think I actually missed this scene in the, wait. Oh, yeah, I did. I missed saying earlier in the episode 11 that we saw Heather showing her office to her daughters, but I didn't really think it was much to say anyway. But in this scene, Heather is now decorating Annabelle's bed and stuff like that with all of the University of Tampa things. And yeah, it's happy that she's going to be a solo lady out here, not having, any kids at home. She's about to be an empty nester. She can't wait for it. She's not like kicking them out, but she is approaching it, I feel like, in a different way than we normally see people approaching things like this, because we have, someone like Bronwyn on a power different end of the spectrum saying like, oh my God, I just stay here forever. Like Heather's completely embracing it. She's totally fine with being an empty nester. She only has to worry about herself now because she wasn't in a marriage, married to somebody who didn't fucking help. So like she basically been doing it all by herself, even when she was married. So now she can only be responsible for herself. She can make all the fried Oreos in her air fryer that she wants. And it's a I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say.
You know I ain't mad at it. I'm on my last one, baby, right now. My 15-year-old is the last of the Mohican right here. Like, and I got 5. She got 3. I have 5. And I'm just,
I get it.
I don't even know how to act right now. Like literally, I'm with her. Like you just start feeling like I've been taking care of somebody else since I've been 20 years old. I was pregnant at 19, so I've been taking care of my kid since I was 20, and then I had others. So it's just like, yeah, it's a big accomplishment. I'm happy for Heather, and I can't wait to see what she's gonna do next. Um, it's hats off to her because, like she said, I did it even by myself in a marriage, and a lot of us do. Let's be clear, a lot of us do, and it's not intentional. I'm not, there's times that my husband was there and he did stuff, but for the most part, I am the mother. I am the mother. Like, everything comes through me. Like I am that, and even with my older kids, father, same thing. I am that mother. I always have been hands on. Those are my kids. I brought them in here. I don't want to have to take you out, but if you make me, no, I'm just playing. No, just joking. But yeah, I like that. I love that she loves on her daughters, that they know what their mom been through and what she sacrificed for them, and how she wants them to have their own life and not take, what she couldn't do, she let her daughters do, and I love that for them. So yeah, I enjoyed that little scene.
And I also like that she
And I
doesn't
just
like
said,
resent them, because I feel like sometimes too, like you get like people will like, yeah, it'll just manifest itself in like almost like resentment, or just like those people that a lot of times I think that's for people that just never truly even wanted kids, and then they had them, and then it's like, yeah, I've dedicated my whole life and now like I don't. So no, she's happy to see
yeah,
them
it's not.
flourish. She's also happy that she's flourishing too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's true. There's like, oh, girl, I can't wait for them to get out. Like, that's not. I
Yeah,
don't feel like that. I never feel like I can't wait for my kids to get out. I'm just happy that I got a chance to see all my kids grow up. It's a blessing in itself. So, if I can get up, see all my kids be grown, that's great. I did
yeah.
something. I do feel accomplished.
Facts. Bronwyn and She, as we know, is an ally to the LGBTQIA plus community. And she's preparing or she's prepping, I should say, some rainbow flags to all the individuals wanting them to put on display because and the reason being because at this point in time, the new law in Utah was that pride flags cannot be displayed on any government buildings. So she said, okay, I'm going to take it one step further, and every building that's not a government building should then display them. So she's sending them out, and she's actually having some help from Muzzy, who, although that may not be within her politics and her preference, she'll do whatever she can to help her daughter. And she likes to do things she wouldn't normally opt for, and she doesn't really care what others think of her presently, even though this is something that she has cared about in the past. And she's like, you might, be my age and feel that way. And Bronwyn's like, wait, so I gotta wait until I'm 80 plus to do that? Oh no. And Bronwyn, as we know, is somebody that cares a lot what others think, including Muzzy. And Muzzy thinks that she should, to a certain extent, care what she thinks. And this has always been a sore spot for them that they've moved through. The tides of change, and now even how she feels about Gwen and stuff has changed, because we know how she felt when Bronwyn was pregnant initially. But Muzzy says that Bronwyn has been a great mom to Gwen. She's doing a great job in everything. And of course, this makes Bronwyn emotional because this is music to her ears. She never heard her mother talk about her in this way. It's comforting and all the things. And Muzzy's also somebody that just in general is not the first to extend a compliment. And that has a lot to do with her own upbringing and how she was parented and raised and all those different things. So this is just a big moment between them. And Bronwyn's like, she's breaking these generational curses, except for the no hugs, because she's not a hugger and neither is Gwen. So I'm like, okay, note taken in case I run into a BravoCon ever. I, I mean, if she likes it, I love it. I like, there would have been no second, like, screw Brittany and her situation. There would be no second chance if it was me and Bronwyn. Like, absolutely not, because now she also inflicted that on her child, like, by not wanting her to even be pregnant and bring that child into this world, probably. And then now, like, oh, she's the best thing that ever happened. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever forgive my parent if I was a problem, but since she can, good on her. I also think she probably, one of two things. I'm thinking that we're seeing this redemption arc with Muzzy right now, because she's like, hey, the way you showing up, like, just a word to the wise. You might not want to, show up like that, because we down here are going to call it out, and we are quick to, call out somebody's mom or point out the deficiencies in the mom. Like, we know how these Bravo moms can be, like, sometimes. So yeah. I'm like, maybe she was trying to save her from that. And then on the other side of the coin, I'm like, maybe she wasn't trying to save her from that. Maybe Bronwyn purposely brought her mom on here to, since she wasn't probably going to call her out for it and hold her accountable for it and stuff like that. Maybe she knew that we, as the viewers, were going to get down here and verbally whack her mom back and forth from here to Timbuktu. Maybe this is on purpose. And I say that because Bronwyn's a lot more calculated than she may have seemed, at least to me, maybe even going back as to say for last season. I don't know. I can't really quite figure out why, because I'm like, girl, I don't know. I just would never be in this situation where my mom is coming on here and not being my biggest supporter. I don't know. What say you? I am thinking Muzzy saw the initial reaction. How?
Yeah. You want to read Kevin's? You want to read Kevin's comment first?
Yeah, I am thinking Muzzy saw the initial reaction, how she was how she was received on social media, hence why the 180 changed out. Yeah, like I said, that's one of my ideas. And then the other idea is, Brahma, you did this on purpose.
I think you might be right. I think Rowan is a little just like you said, how kiddish she acted when she was talking to her husband. I did the wrong. I mean, I guess what I did today, something you told me not to do, but I just wanted to. It's like the same thing, except for she's not gonna. It's the way. It's just their dynamic and the way they talk to one another. Just like when she said, I had the other two kids, and then you're my oops baby, and she's like, yeah, but I'm standing right here. You can't say that in front of me, like, like, there's just certain things that they do that it's like, I know it's their thing, it's them, but I just feel like Bronwyn's probably like, yeah, let's see how this is gonna work. Because she was on the last time she was on Watch What Happens Live. She said that Muzzy was gonna be on there a little bit more, and the way she said it to where she was like, "Oh no, she'll be back on there." And I was thinking to myself, she gonna vindicate herself because your smiles got a little too smiley, blushy, like that. You knew that your mom is gonna pull her out of this hole that she put herself in because she came in on a whirlwind, honey. We was like, wait a minute. I don't know how I feel about your mom yet, and I don't want to do that and be disrespectful to your mom. But one mom to another mom, she might get it. And like I might have to get into it. So, hopefully, but it was refreshing to hear her mom finally say something that Brahma has been needing to hear and wanting to hear, that she's a good mom. Too bad it took her to say, the fun thing is, that I had the baby and you was upset, and now the one thing that you love is that I had my baby and you're not upset. But that's how it goes when you have teenage pregnancy. Even at 19, I ain't gonna say my family was all enthused. My mom had me at 19, so it wasn't like nothing for her. She was like, okay, I'm about to be a grandmother, but my dad was looking at me like, what? What you say you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it kind of depends on the parent, and um they get over it. That's all I'm gonna say. The initial shock. Nobody wants their kid to be a teen mom, a young mother, even in their young 20s, early 20s. That's young to have children or kids or whatever. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. So don't take it so lightly. So now that Muzzy saw it, and she does a granddaughter, and she did do a good job. And the things that Muzzy couldn't do, and Brown's done with her daughter, and she sees it. I'm glad she said it to her. Like, we didn't give hugs when you talk, or I didn't tell you were the greatest and the best, and you tell your daughter that all the time. It's like somebody that never get told I love you, and then you get your kid, and then you just I say I love you all the time, and I did my kids like that. My mom said it all the time to me though, but I love my kids so much. I tell them I love you every time I talk to them. I tell you that
Yeah,
too, Bart. It's like, it's just that's me. I love, and I love my kids. I love my kids.
yeah, I definitely
Say I agree with
empathize with her on that. I I love that
you. Yes.
me and Kevin are right here with this because, like I said, I can see it one of
Yes.
two ways. Like I could see it being innocent, but I can also see that Brahma has that in her to have, yes, purposely bringing her mom on Raw Slick for the audience to attack her mom. Brahma gives conniving vibes. We don't.
And
I don't know. Like
the conniving
if
vibe is correct, because look how she did Brittany. Remember when Brittany was talking mess around Meredith?
exactly.
She was behind the, and she just let her talk, but then you go bring it back when you was trying. Well, I was trying to reel her back. No, you wasn't. You should have been like, girl, you should have went back and told Meredith, and then you turn around and did it again. So conniving is the right word. She's
Yeah.
very much giving conniving.
And even in this next scene, like she does a switch up too, where I'm like, oh, okay. So but speaking of next scene, y'all, the
We
basis of this episode was this event of Bronwyn's, and we have Angie arriving first. She don't even know where she's at. They don't know what's going on. Heather, Whitney, they're on their way there. They're confused also, minus knowing that they need to meet Bronwyn on a platform. Lisa and Meredith, like we kind of are starting to see the like clicks, I guess you'd say, right now, where we are in the season, where it's pretty much, I feel like it's probably just gonna be Lisa, Meredith, and then we might have like some Angie Marys, but I feel like they'll also probably float sometimes to the Whitney, Brittany, and Heather side too. So just something I want to point out. Whitney or Lisa and Meredith, they're on the way. Brittany tells the other two about the meeting she had with Meredith in the park and how, she seemed apologetic about hurting her feelings, although they may never really be friends. And Whitney pretty much is like, girl, you better than me, because she showed absolutely no accountability when it came to you in that whole situation. So when they pull up on Angie, and they're passing the flasks, they're putting on lip gloss, and before we know it, yikes, here comes Lisa and Meredith, and they're like, where's Mary? Mary's gonna be late. But then all of a sudden, dun dun dun, here comes Bronwyn. And she tells them how she's been studying for her American citizenship. And Lisa isn't amused. She's like, can we have just sent you some flowers or something? Like, why are we here? What are we doing? So they all go in, they grab wigs, and oh my God, there's food. Bronwyn explains the whole inspiration behind the theme being a representation without taxation, and that correlates to the group because many of them often feel as though they're not represented correctly. And she's explaining all of this to them. They again aren't really, I'm not gonna say they're not phased, but they're like kind of understanding, but still kind of like and just as she's doing this, in comes Mary finally. And I don't know if I already said that they all picked wigs, and Mary, she's looking over wigs and she's like, no, I got my own right here. Like, we're not even I got my wig at all. Of course, it was not black, it was white. But anyway, and Bronwyn's like, I think, who was it? Was it Mary? Was like, I look like an idiot or something. And there's sandwiches, there's scones, there's tea, whiskey, wine, and J-Dogs, which I don't know about you, but I was confused about that at first. I was like, what is a J? Huh? Like, is that a huh? So I had to look it up. I had to look it up. And actually, it's just a chain of like it's a hot dog chain there.
Oh, the hot dogs?
Yeah, it's a hot dog, but the business is called J-Dogs or whatever. So that's
like Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, like J-Dogs. That's the name of the company or whatever. Okay, I get it.
Thank
you. Yay! Mary's here. Or no, Bronwyn says our other founding father is here. This is probably when Kevin was like, because I was kind of like, okay, like I get it. I get the theme. I'm like that took it a little too far. Like, girl, bye. And Mary's whole thing is, wait, like what? Like, did they even have hot dogs in BC? Like, what do we? Huh? Okay.
BC.
We know that Mary is going to take her a fish fillet. I'm not even mad at that because the times I do go to McDonald's, I do like fish fillets, y'all. So
wait a minute, sis. Before you move on from right there, sister, that's what I always order too, and I like pickles on mine. But why did I when I took your favorite back home to LA one day? She lives around the corner from McDonald's. I didn't even know they sold this. Why did I have a double fillet of fish?
They do.
Fillet fish on one patty on one. Mm-hmm. Child, that was so good. Okay, but go ahead. I'm done. I just had to go on. I had to get my Mary moment. That fillet of fish with the double patty was bah.
I get extra cheese and no tartar sauce. I get ketchup instead. But we gotta respect.
I used to get extra tartar sauce. That's crazy.
Yeah. We respect the fillet.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I wasn't mad at Mary for that. Production asked them, they start quizzing them on their history and everything. And they ask like, what are the first 10 amendments of the Constitution? Nobody really knows except for Bronwyn. She's been studying. She's like, the Bill of Rights, sir. And they ask about the U.S. senators and everything. And this is flying over pretty much everybody's head, including Meredith, who's like, oh, I should know this. Like, but Brittany, she's even like, I had a 4.2 in high school. Like, I was the valedictorian. Like,
girl.
I mean, I'm not gonna say she was lying. Like, she actually might be telling the truth, because that doesn't mean she has any street. She might have a couple book smarts, but she damn sure don't have no street smarts or romantic smarts. So maybe maybe it was a lie. I don't know, but nonetheless, the task here is going to be, they'll all be writing on these like fake oversized like tea boxes or whatever, Boston Tea Party. Okay. And they're gonna be writing the name of the person that they have spilled tea on, and I guess, you know, then they're gonna toss it over, which is supposed to reenact them, like, I guess, putting the tea beef to bed, I guess. And so Heather's like, girl, do you not remember what happened in Port Royal? Like, hello, like, are we really trying to do this again? But whatever. And Lisa's like, Heather, like, why do you look so stressed? I laughed at that. And so Angie, she has to let them all know that when Lisa claimed to have bought a horse, she did in fact check that, and, you know, ask other people. She wanted to believe her, and we do see flashbacks of just that. Lisa says that she does have a horse. It's no big deal. And, you know, she may even get another horse. It's just, you know, none of their business. It's just something, like, it's just her horse. Like, that's just what you want to do. And she's like, girl, like, any other time something big happens to you, whatever, you make these announcements. Like, she's not moved by it. She calls BS. It's just not in Lisa's nature. Brittany, she kind of she wants to know who spilled the tea on her flirting with was it J-O? Because when she got Joao, I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
whatever. We know who's talking about.
My eyelash is stabbing me.
Oh, I knew you were doing something with your eyelash. I said my sister went off. That I was doing something.
Scratching me. I think we're good. now. Okay, I think so.
Let me be clear. I would have failed all the tests. History is not my thing. Like, I like history now that been out of school, but I didn't like history when I was in school. So everything they were talking about, I was like, ooh.
I mean,
oh yeah. But when they were saying, I was like, oh yeah.
I've always liked history, but I don't know. Lately, like, whenever people ask me, we were playing this like Harry Potter game the other night, and as much as I know about Harry Potter, for some odd reason, like, my brain's just been like missing things lately that I know. So I feel like if they would have asked me, for some odd reason, my mind probably would have just blanked. But
you got 30-year-old brain. A 30-year-old brain.
I was surprised though, that especially the Bill of Rights one. I was like, okay, I mean,
yeah,
I kind of assumed someone would know that, but whatever. Anyway, Brittany, she wants to know who told Jared this or whatever, or told about her flirting with this dude, because when she got back, Jared and her broke up. Dun dun dun. Once again, once that news had got back to him, and Mary's like, oh my god, not Jared again. Like, oh my god, really? Like, Jared again? And it was actually Whitney that admitted that she was telling Justin, and we get this flashback of, one, I think Whitney was drunk, and two, like, regardless, she wasn't telling him in like a shady way or nothing like that. We don't know what Justin may have then took to Jared verbatim, but we did see her telling him that what occurred with Brittany and this dude, apparently. So nonetheless, Brittany receives that, and so Braun was like, you know, can we just toss over this whole Jared box. Like, can we just be over it? And I think a lot of us viewers were also very eager for her to toss it on over as well. Y'all, Heather goes next. And she says, you know, with full disclosure, Big B, I have to be honest on what I've been spilling tea on is something Bronwyn's probably keen to because, you know, she's fascinated by it, which is this rumor about Todd making out and farting. Like, do you not think it's absurd? Y'all, when the camera panned over to Bronwyn, Bronwyn's face was like, bitch, I know you didn't. I know the fuck you didn't. She's like, throw the fucking box over.
Her neck wasn't bobbling this time.
It wasn't. It wasn't. You know, Bronwyn is good
Dirty,
for that.
dirty, low down.
I hollered when we panned over there. It's clear that she did not find it funny at all, and Heather's like, okay, like, you know, and she just throws it over. She vows to leave him alone. She also apologizes, which Mary was like, you know, go Heather, like that's great. And I was like,
too soon.
Okay. A lot of very funny commentary, y'all. Up until the moment where Bronwyn then goes and she dedicates her tea spill to the lunch she had with Whitney, where they spoke, and you know, she then went to warn Meredith about something that went on too far in her opinion. In an effort to be a good friend, she just wants to apologize for that. Whitney's not moved, y'all. Whitney's not moved. She's like, you know, why didn't you stop me and tell me to stop saying that? And Bronwyn claims that she questioned her about it, and Whitney's like, no, you laughed. And we get a little snippet of it. And Bronwyn's like, I apologize. Take that up with her because, you know, I'm not the keeper of Meredith's wine. Whitney's like, girl, I felt like I was, you know, confiding in someone in a private conversation. And Bronwyn, she ain't owning it at all. She's like, you know, you probably shouldn't have said it instead of telling her behind her back when, you know, it's really just you just talking behind her back. Like you probably shouldn't have said that then if you don't want it repeated. I'm gonna just stop right here because this is where I was like, oh, okay, Bronwyn, I see what type of game you're playing at. I feel like is trying to absolve herself and make sure that she remains in the clear and stuff with her parts and things. But in doing so, I feel like she obviously has no remorse and is not she's not trying to spare anybody else in doing so at the same time. So that's why I say that it also lends to this whole being conniving and a little backhanded, y'all, because you see how quick she was to switch up to be like, we probably shouldn't have said it then. Okay, keep that energy. How did you feel? Hello, you there? Are you frozen again? Uh-oh, I don't know what's happening. I'm not hearing anything. But this is can you hear me?
Definitely that kind of shocked me. I was like, wait a minute. I think Whitney is not scared to say anything. You can't hear me again?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Yes. Yes. Shit. Yeah, it is.
I can hear you now.
I knew it.
Can you hear me? You might have to drop down again. Or maybe are you on your computer? You might have to go back on can you get on your phone maybe? I'm not sure. I can hear you, but
you can.
Uh-oh. Sorry, y'all. See, this is what happens when we take time off. We come back and StreamYard is just not our friend. So this sparks the back and forth between Meredith and Whitney. Meredith has gotten started now. She's telling Whitney like she better stop lying, and Whitney's like, you know, can I have some of these crazy pills? Like, what is And Lisa also joins in. She's clapping back at Whitney, which is why I continue to say that Lisa and Meredith have an alliance to one another. Whitney's like, nah, like, well, I'm not the only witness. Like, all of us are here saying the same thing. Like, Meredith is not taking any accountability. Whitney calls Meredith an alcoholic pill popper. And at that same time, Mary's just wanting more alcohol. Speaking of alcohol. Oh, okay.
All right, sorry.
Okay, I was like, yeah, maybe you gotta go on your phone, maybe, because it is just not being your friend today.
Not today. It's just not. Let me see if I can make myself bigger on my T. Oh, there I go. Make us so I can see it. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what you just saying? I'm sorry.
How did you feel about Bronwyn being like, well, maybe you shouldn't have said that, Whitney, and they're like a little back and forth because Whitney clearly is still bothered by how Meredith was informed about what she said.
I think Bronwyn shouldn't. I feel like you kind of, that's like a double down. Like, you shouldn't have said, like, how dare you spill what I said and then turn around and say, well, you shouldn't have said that. I mean, if that's the case, then don't try to blame me. You shouldn't have said it. No, you shouldn't have went back and told it. Let's go back to the me and you talking, and I didn't go back and say nothing about what we were talking about, and we had some conversations, honey, about your husband. Because if I really want to get into some things, let's talk about what we're talking about with your husband and how you want to have an open relationship. Because see, I would have bust you out right there, talking mess to me. I'd have bust her whole situation out. So we talking, if that's the case, you shouldn't have said it, right? You shouldn't have said it. Okay, so don't do that. You wrong, Bronwyn, and the fact that you double down on like saying that to her is like, oh, you a whack. You kind of whack on that. You kind of a whack. You whack. Like, that's not cool. So if I was Whitney, take notes. Because if you just, we just said that on the last episode, we were hoping that relationship would be good.
Mm-mm. It's not.
Because Bronwyn is, to me, I think it's a Bronwyn thing. I don't think it's a Whitney thing. I think Bronwyn is the one that's out of pocket on this one. And I don't know where she's coming. I don't know her angle. I don't get her angle.
That mean or is that, I don't want to say mean streak. I'm telling everybody who is allowing the wool to be pulled over their eyes when it comes to Bronwyn. I don't know how you're allowing it because he keeps having these instances where it's like, I see you're playing at. I see it. But shifting through the rest of this, Whitney and Meredith, they begin to go back and forth with Whitney regarding Meredith as an alcoholic pill popper. And so when that is said, Meredith then proceeds to give them all gifts. And by gifts, I mean drug tests. 7 drug tests in particular. Whitney was like, where does... I'm hearing feedback here.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. Oh. Is it doing it again?
I don't think it's doing... No, it's good now. Okay. So we have Whitney like, where do you even get 7 drug tests? The store, they sell drug tests in the store now, and it's not that hard. But anyway, Mary's like, that's a lot of urine.
Stupid. So I'm going into a better room. Hold on, y'all. I'm listening. Go ahead.
He's like, she's trying to figure out if alcohol even show up on this. I did see people online saying that Whitney was looking kind of like, I don't know if you want to say scared or like kind of like taken aback by this. I like her expression, her demeanor, I guess, changed a little bit or whatever to some people. Meredith and Whitney, they're just going back and forth. And Lisa, again, is also jumping in to get her licks in when it comes to Whitney. And she's also backpedaling on what was even stated earlier in this same exact conversation. She's trying to prove that she's not lying. She's triggered. She feels like she's being gaslit. Like everybody is just taking their individual turns at jumping on this grenade, I would call it. And all we want to know is anybody else wearing a girdle. Okay.
That was funny.
And in the end, I forget what Bronwyn. Oh, the friendship amendments. I'm like, is this also like is this in the binder of friendship contracts? I don't know. Anyway, um, shout out to Cynthia Bailey. Is that families are off limits. Heather is to be a woman of your word. Lisa's is to be the friend that you expect others to be. Mary says that they all not just hear each other, but they also forgive. Whitney says there are topics that are off limits. It's businesses, marriage, and children. With Angie, including that in the group, we need to be very careful about saying things about people without documentation. This is coming from somebody who brought a scroll last season, wasn't it? Yeah. Brittany's whole thing is that, shall they always see the best in people? With Meredith finishing this off by saying, stop the reactive abuse, which then leaves everybody stunned and Googling what reactive abuse is. Yeah, I probably don't really have anything else to say other than what I already said. Oh, actually I do. So Meredith to me, at this point, I'm like, she could easily stop this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even by saying like them continuing to rehash what happened on the plane. Clearly nobody being Meredith versus everybody else pretty much is in agreement on what happened. So honestly, if Meredith wanted to put this to bed right then and there, she could have just said, me and Brittany talked, we're good, that's the end. And that would have not allowed any of them to question or have anything else to say about it. Honestly, they would have just had to take that, and that was the goal, right? For you to make amends with Brittany ultimately, right? So that could have been her way out. My reason that I think that Meredith didn't do that is because by keeping this going at this point, she might not take ownership for it, but by keeping this going, that allows her a little bit more camera time / a storyline to keep her being relevant on the show. Because what else is we have to talk about if she wasn't to even with the drug test and stuff like that, like that I feel like kind of even fell flat because clearly you wouldn't bring drug tests if you quote unquote knew that yours wasn't going to come back without showing something or whatever. Like clearly that you're good. So if anything, if she really want to make a splash, I feel like she should have been like, boom, in here. And then that would have shut all that up rather than you even give it. Because now are you saying that they're all on stuff? Like clearly we're not. That doesn't even make sense. Like what do we? That just seemed a little weird to me. She's trying to make a Meredith moment, but it didn't really happen for me. And also, my other main thing is, and I guess I'm mad at myself for not realizing this maybe in the last episodes or whatever. I think it's really tone deaf of Whitney to say to Meredith to bring up these allegations against Meredith and stuff like that because or implications, I should say, because did we forget what Mary's really going through over here for real with her son? And you continuing to draw this parallel between what Meredith's got potentially going on behind the scenes and your dad without any true evidence, like that's a big ass allegation to throw on somebody. And I can understand Meredith being like, it's one thing about just going off on the plane, but now you're saying it was fueled by something possibly like that's not. Whitney is good for doing that. I feel like sometimes, and it's just like when you do that, like you can't just that's crossing the line. I feel like to throw that type of allegation out there.
Yeah, even though I do it, but I'm just a little blogger. I'm just a little blogger, a little content creator. I'm a nobody. I'm not her friend. I'm not. She doesn't know me, but she does. Like I've been saying, give me a person that's been drinking and might be on prescription drug. I mean, having a prescription of some sort. Not that she is abusing her drugs, she's taking drugs, popping pills, and drinking. I just feel like she might have a prescription for something she shouldn't be drinking, and she is, and it makes her whatever she's doing, even if it's just the alcohol or maybe it's the gummy, like she said, she has an occasional gummy. That's fine, but something is making you more slurry and talk slower than you usually talk. And so with that, it sounds kind of impairing, if you will, because people don't talk like that. It don't take you that long to spit out what I just said. It don't take that long. So I'm not saying Whitney is wrong. I shouldn't say that. Whitney is wrong. I think she went about it the wrong way. The three things that she said, it's either you got hatred. I was like, hatred, but you know what? She didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. She said, or either you're doing drugs or whatever, or no, she said drinking and doing drugs or whatever the second thing was. She quickly said, oh, so now I'm doing that, or no, I'm not doing that. And then the last thing she said, she disagreed with it. So I was like, or she just was like kind of looking at her. So I was like, well, then you do have some kind of hatred, because you didn't say I don't have hatred. I don't hate anybody. You do got some. So that was a telltale sign that yes, she has some kind of loathing for a couple of y'all, for real. I don't know. I mean, she's on the show, she's making her money, but at the same time, she don't see it for y'all. She don't.
Yeah.
Her and neither Lisa don't either. But Lisa's just trying to contain it because she's already under scrutiny. So Lisa's really trying to play her little role. But girl, you and Meredith are two peas in a pod. Y'all not about to confuse me and gaslight me. Like, and I'm really getting really, 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 really annoyed with Meredith calling everybody else a liar or trying to tell everybody else that what we saw or how she was acting and it wasn't that. What? Just say, you know what, I don't recall. The fact that Mary keeps telling you that I'm not trying to attack you, I love you, is concerning that you don't remember. It's concerning to me. And all you can keep saying, well, you guys are all wrong. You even sat there and said that Lisa lied when she tried to tell you that Heather, you did give Heather an ultimatum. It's either Brittany or you. You did give her that ultimatum. If you on her side, then me and you can't be cool. That's giving her an ultimatum. You don't remember? You probably don't. And that's what we're trying to tell you. You spew things so fast out your mouth, and then you're so quick to be like, no, I didn't say that. No, we were all there. We all were there. You can't say. I really can't wait to see the reunion. I really want to see if Meredith is gonna, come clean and she's gonna take accountability, because if she doesn't, I'm done with her. And that's real. Because I'm serious. I haven't, like, she doesn't piss me off like that, but I'm gonna be done with her. I'm gonna be on Auntie Bernice's side. I'm gonna be like, yeah, Ice Princess. Yeah, friend of. Yeah, get off my screen. Because I'm already tired of your slurry talk. I'm already getting tired of that. And I'm tired of you and Lisa, thinking everybody else is against you guys. No, it's you guys against everybody else. It's not them doing it to y'all. Y'all are putting yourself over here and over there by yourselves. So I'm not gonna see it for Meredith if she doesn't take accountability at the reunion. If she don't be like, well, I didn't, I don't remember. I don't recall her and that. I watched 2 movies. No, you didn't. You barely watched the one movie. You barely watched the one movie.
Right. Right.
Oh, this is my other thing I want to show y'all. It's my flask. In honor of, I was like, me and my sister always got props at the same time. We never planned it. So when you brought the wig out, I said, my sister, because I definitely have my flask. And of course it says California Cutie. You better know it. My cutie's on the front. And it is a real flask. So I keep a flask too. I keep a flask or 2.
They're handy. If I was a drinker, I would definitely have a flask as well. I mean, I have some here, but they're
Yes.
per se. I understand where you're coming from, and that's the thing. Like, being as though this is something serious, being as though somebody on the cast right now is actually having
Real.
substance abuse issues happening in their real life. I just didn't really like. Again, if you're just gonna, it seems almost like Whitney now. You're just like throwing it out there to see if it sticks or whatever. Like, and I say that because genuinely, someone who's also had this happen in their family and caused issues in their family, you are trying to express on one hand that you take it super serious, like you're triggered, it's like something super serious, whatever. Because you've seen that devastated family, you would then, I would think in this situation, want to approach Meredith being genuine and from a place of genuinely trying to show your concern and show some assistance. If that was the case, then you wouldn't just be throwing it all willy-nilly in these types of conversations. You'd probably have an off-screen conversation where you would approach her and be like, girl, like, what's, I'm noticing these things. Is everything okay? It's how you're, Whitney, it's how you are approaching it that lets us know that you're not being genuine. And it's crazy because, like I just said, you say on one hand, you're somebody that takes this so serious and all these types of things, but you're quick to approach it like that. Weird. You know what else is weird, y'all? I'm gonna show you guys.
All right, I'm waiting for it. Wait for it, because I haven't seen it.
What? Google Chrome. Okay. What is wrong with my? Oh, sorry, y'all. I had to reset my computer and like it's being weird now. Why is this not going away? Hold on, sorry. Okay. What? Go away.
What happened?
I don't know. It's like ask Google Chrome wants to record computer screen audio. No, I don't want to do that. It's like asking if I can. No, why do I? Whatever. Go away. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I think I solved it. Yes. So what else is kind of weird, in my opinion, is this seating chart. Let me take these comments off real quick.
Let me see.
So as you can see, we have Andy, we have Bronwyn and Lisa in the first chair.
Okay.
Followed by Meredith, Heather, Mary, Angie, Whitney, Brittany. For the life of me, I can't quite understand why the fuck Meredith is in the second seat. Honestly, I don't even think I would put Lisa in the first seat now that I think.
I don't know why Lisa was in the front seat. I was like, what did she do? If anything, I would feel like.
Honestly, I would switch fucking. Even Brittany has had more going on, I feel like, than fucking Mary, or Meredith. I would move Mary. I would definitely move Meredith down. I would even move Mary up because she's been having stuff going on with her church and all this. Still going through things with Robert and Whitney.
I feel like Angie should be at the end of one of these ends. She should be in the third seat.
Angie at the end. You can move. You can honestly.
Meredith at the end. Meredith and Angie should both be at the end, and then it could be then Mary. Mary should be where she at, but definitely Angie and Meredith are in the wrong spots.
Heather.
Lisa shouldn't be there, but because what did Lisa do? I'm like, what have Lisa's done other than talk
right now? The main stuff is circulating. Is one side of that has Meredith on the end more than it has Lisa. Lisa. Yeah, she had the poster board thing earlier on in the season, stuff like that. But really, she's playing second. She's purposely getting involved in stuff that technically she's not the main target of right now. So I don't know why she's first. I would have assumed, if anything, they probably would have put Heather first before her, just because we know there's going to be the main mover and shaker around here. So I don't know. Not surprised to see Whitney on the end. Somebody's got to be on the end, so I'm not like upset with that. And obviously, because Brittany's a friend, they put her on the end too. But technically speaking, I think she has more going on than, again, the Merediths of the world, honestly. So she could have even been third from the bottom.
That's what I say. I say move Angie, flip Angie and Brittany around.
At the same time, we are about to go on this cast trip. This is why I don't understand.
To Greece.
do these? Why the fuck do they do these reunions so far in advance? We still at least have another month, 2 months. Like we still have a good amount of episodes left.
Mm-hmm.
These reunions so far in advance. It doesn't need to happen.
Well, maybe because they already know what's gonna happen. So for them, it makes sense for them, and in our heads it don't because we ain't seen it yet.
Whatever. I understand Bronwyn's first. That's not a shocker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really confused by this.
Yeah, Lisa and Meredith being first and second.
Chanel Ion. Bronwyn, congratulations, Bronwyn Newport for first chair seat is well deserved. And Lisa Barlow. Queen Mary should never ever be third seat. Or Angie, why am I crying?
Question: do you believe that Lisa owns a horse and thinking about buying another one?
I'm sure she does, but like, it's not like a big deal to me. Like that. Like, I mean, if she has money.
So what you saying? She don't have she don't have the horse like Electra has. Electra horse is over $100,000. She ain't got that type of horse.
Maybe not. / like, that was just them allowing Lisa to be the main focus. By them being the Angies, Bronwyns, whoever, by you guys consistently going at Lisa the way you do, that's why people say that she's the face of the show and all this stuff. Because I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. / I can believe she does. I'm sure she might have one. She might, I guess.
Yeah, but I kind of agree with them. Like she's a picture taking fool. Like I feel like if she had any inkling or even that would be something her and Angie would have talked about. Like it just seems like. And wasn't it one of Angie's friends that said that she rented one from the barn? So I'm not it's not here nor there. I was just wondering, like, was you thinking she really have a horse? Or?
Maybe remember how I said that Lisa clearly is like not a person that has any type, like she needs to be grounded and zenned out and all these types of things. Maybe this is her way of doing that, and by doing so, she's not, making it a big spectacle. Maybe that is her therapeutic time to be grounded. I hope. I don't know, but I'm probably giving too much.
It sounds a little far-fetched, but okay, we're gonna see it. Hopefully it will elaborate when they do get to the reunion, or maybe we'll get to see her horse, or maybe we'll get her see her zenned out.
It does. And then the last clip, I don't think this will get flagged. I want to share with you guys, although I still have my feelings on her, I think that she does bring up a good point. So I'm going to play this little clip real quick, and then we'll get out of here now. On what possibly could be happening with this whole footage. Oh, wait.
Say they always give us a bombshell finale.
Yes.
Right? And that the only bombshell for us would be footage of what happened on that plane and us seeing Meredith be this maniacal mess that they proclaimed she was. Either that or the reunion, but I think the reunion is too far to wait. I think, but you know what's so funny? They would have to explain, like, what, why wasn't this brought up sooner? Why did we spend 3-4 weeks addressing something that was she say, she say? But now we have footage. Where did we get it from? So that's going to be the interesting thing in terms of if the finale is exposing the footage of what happened. Why did we have to wait so long to see something that y'all talked about for a month?
Okay, I'm going to combat that.
Go ahead.
With season 4 finale.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's this whole, why did we wait so long? Why was she pretending to be friends? Why did Heather bring it out now? And we got her making this bullshit phone call. Is it true? Oh my God. So I think it's going to be very easy for them to be like, it could even be Heather again, since they make her kind of the I wouldn't want to say leader, but they do kind of make her the leader of
Yeah,
these.
she's like the force multiplier when it comes to like supplying the bomb. You're right.
And she could say, hear me out. Shit, maybe I should be in production, bitch. Hear me out. She could say, I've had the footage of Meredith all along. And the reason why I wasn't comfortable showing it sooner was because she is my friend. Because we know she loves to rely on the whole we're friends thing. And I was hoping, giving her chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity to just own it. Just own it. And she never did. And so now I have to prove with my receipts and timeline and screenshots and da-da. But tell me, is that not like, I could see it, Carlos.
You're good at this.
I could see it. I'm telling you.
I can see it now.
Yes.
So vividly.
Bitch.
I can see it.
Reality with the King is streaming on all.
Well,
It makes sense though. I like I said, I may not like her on the show or want her on the show, but Mama definitely had a point there. I could definitely, even if it doesn't happen, like it makes so much sense. I could see that being something that happened. Like, could you imagine? Oh my God. That is realistic.
yeah, it's very realistic. It's almost, you can just see it happening for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Have to see.
I don't know what to expect on this show. If this as big of an issue as they're making this be, like they're not being any receipts, proof, timeline, screenshot, for there not to be any of that it has been kind
Unheard of.
interesting to me. So
yeah.
But this circle its way back by reunion time, y'all. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that, on everything, on the reunion seating, on our commentary, on the episodes, all the above. We want to hear everything. I think it's safe to say that Salt Lake City is still giving to the ones that say it's been a little dry. I think it's still giving. We're about to go on the cast trip, the official cast trip.
Yes.
I something better happen. I'm sure something's going to happen. And as always, we'll be down here to discuss it with you all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those things. That's all I have. What say you?
I say you guys have a great rest of y'all day, great rest of y'all evening, whatever time you guys are watching us, catching us on the playback. Shout out to the playback gang. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We should be on our regular time next week. Hopefully it should be Wednesday. We should see you guys on Wednesday. If you don't, it would probably be Thursday, but it should be Wednesday. We should be there on Wednesday. Okay, so y'all, thank y'all for rocking with us. We appreciate y'all. Sorry for the delay, but we are back. Okay, we are here for the other half of the season. Okay, we will be right here and catch us on all our social platforms. Catch my sis. She just put out her Potomac. She put out her Married to Medicine, and I'm putting my Married to Medicine out probably later on today. So you guys check for that. And yeah, we catch you guys on the next one. We had a great time with y'all. Thanks for rocking with us.
Of course. Bye, y'all.